Alright guys, how's it going? So today I'm doing my longest tier list I've ever done. These are my 2019, all the 2019 movies I've watched last year. I'm going to put them in tiers. Every single one of these I have watched, and I'm either loved them or I fucking hated them. So there's close to 50 movies on this tier list. I've seen a lot of movies last year, and I'm double checking to make sure all these came out last year. I'm 100% sure they all did. So starting on this tier list is going to be Rob Zombie's film Three from Hell. It is the sequel to House of a Thousand Corpses and The Devil's Rejects. And I'm going to put an A tier. As much as I don't care for Rob Zombie's films, the one movie I love by him is Devil's Rejects, which that would have been an S tier. I love The Devil's Rejects. The Three from Hell was my second favorite out this trilogy he's done with House of a Thousand Corpses and all that. It's better than House of a Thousand Corpses, but I think it falls short compared to The Devil's Rejects. To me, The Devil's Rejects is his best film. If you've never seen it, that's an actual good movie from him. This is his second best, in my opinion. I do love Three from Hell, but to me, it's just not as good as The Devil's Rejects. Next up, we got the Lego Movie 2, the second part. It's another A tier movie. Again, I don't think this one is as good as the first one, nor is it as good as Lego Batman, but it's definitely better than Lego Ninjago. But I don't know. I just felt like this one was not as funny in terms of the comedy and not as clever in terms of writing as the first movie was. The first movie is like S tier quality. Same thing with Lego Batman, but Lego Movie 2, while it was still good last year, it just was not as good as the first one. To me, it did not live up to how good the first movie was, but it's still a pretty good movie. Doctor Sleep. I watched both cuts, the theatrical and extended, and both of them are fantastic. And that's going to be the first S tier movie. This was a big shocker last year. I was not expecting anything much, like anything at all, from a Shining sequel done by someone who's not Stanley Kubrick, but Stanley Kubrick's passed away. But I was 100% shocked by the final product. Doctor Sleep is a phenomenal fucking film. It's intense, it has a great story, great writing in it, and it completely blew me away. It was easily, it'd probably be in my top 10 of last year. It was fucking phenomenal. Next up, we got Fast and the Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw. A lot of people are expecting, oh, it's gonna be in lower tiers, right? No, Hobbs and Shaw is an A tier movie. It's one of the better Fast and the Furious films, especially for it being a spinoff. It's better than Fate of the Furious. I still would rather watch Fast Five or Furious Seven, but Hobbs and Shaw was still a very entertaining and fun movie. It had a good villain too. I just think it went on for too long. I think they should have cut down the runtime of this movie by a lot because this movie is really long. But other than that, I mean, other than runtime that really drags on, the movie itself is a fun ride. I watched it in theaters and it was a fun time. So I enjoyed Hobbs and Shaw. John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum, that's an S tier movie. It's fucking John Wick. All three films would be an S tier. And to me, they just keep getting better and better. To me, the third one's my favorite. It just has a lot of good action in it. It's a fun fucking movie to watch. Fantastic fucking film. It's just it's just a fun action movie to watch. And I just got done watching it earlier and I still fucking love it. It's a fun as shit movie. Detective Pikachu. Um, You know what? I want to put that in S tier because I actually did really enjoy it. Detective Pikachu was fun as shit. I'm a big Pokemon fan, and I love what the director did. They gave it a really decent story. Well, actually, a really good story. Ryan Reynolds does a good job as Pikachu, the dead Pikachu, but I wish they would have gotten Danny DeVito instead. But for Ryan Reynolds to be in this movie, he did pretty damn good. And the CGI, knowing the more I think about it, the CGI was not as good as it could have been. There were some things in there that just wasn't as good as it could have been. It's still a good movie. The only thing that's really holding it back now, the more that I think about it, is some of the acting is kind of bad, and sometimes the CGI doesn't look as good as it could have. That's what holds it back from being S tier and going up there with Doctor Sleep and John Wick. But it's still a good movie. It's still a great movie, honestly, but it's nowhere near the quality of what would an S movie be. Midsommar. This is you're gonna see three A24 movies on here. I'm a big A24 guy. I love A24 films to death. So I was very excited to see Midsommar, and I was not disappointed. This movie was so damn good. I love Midsommar. Just intense, has beautiful cinematography, a great story, great acting. It's just a fucking phenomenal movie. It's a marvel to look at. It's so gorgeous. It's a gorgeous fucking movie with great acting. That's what A24 does well. They usually deliver a fantastic, looking film with an interesting narrative, and I think that's what the director did with Midsommar. It's a great fucking movie. I love Midsommar. Ford v Ferrari, directed by James Mangold. Another S tier. There's a lot of S tiers. Last year was a good year for film. Ford v Ferrari is a movie directed by James Mangold, director of Walk the Line and Logan and the Wolverine. This movie is fucking great. I love this fucking movie. I went to theaters to see it because I'm a big fan of automobiles. I love cars, and when I heard they were doing a fucking Ford v Ferrari film, based on a 24-hour race, I was fucking there. And Matt Damon and fucking Christian Bale did a fantastic job in this film. Such a good movie. Stuber, yeah, no, it's a bland movie. I did not care for Stuber. This is not. This is to me, um, Dave Bautista's weakest film. I do not care for Stuber. It's not. Is honestly, the more I think about it, it wasn't my favorite because the comedy wasn't even that good to me. It wasn't that funny. It just felt lazy. The writing and all that felt really really lazy, and it's not a movie that I want to go back to rewatch at all. It was just a lazy fucking movie. It just felt really lazy in terms of the comedy. Avengers Endgame. That's an S tier movie. I've already said it a lot. Avengers Endgame is one of my favorite MCU movies. I fucking love the movie to death. It's a fun comic book movie. It feels like a comic book movie. Had a great story, great characters, and it was a great conclusion to Iron Man and Captain America's story. So yeah, I fucking love Endgame. I went to theaters to see it multiple fucking times. Uncut Gems, another S tier movie. Again, I'm telling you, there's a lot of fucking S tier movies last year. It was a really good year for film. Adam Sandler knocked it out the fucking park in this movie, and the Safdie brothers did a good job directing it. The Safdie brothers directed Robert Pattinson's Good Time, which was another A24 movie. This movie has a great story with great character development, and you really feel for Adam Sandler's character, while at the same time wanting something bad to happen to him because he's a character where you're feeling sorry for him, but at the same time he's doing these wrong things. And to me, it did a really good job portraying that kind of dirty feeling, like you're watching this guy make these fucking mistakes, and you just feel so bad for him. Rocketman. This is an A tier. This is a biopic about Elton John, and way fucking better than Bohemian Rhapsody. There's some things they left out that I wish they would have put into the movie, which is why it's an A tier. But overall, this is a really phenomenal fucking movie in terms of like biopics and all that. They really captured how Elton John was like back in the day and him struggling with being gay. It was a really well done movie, and I really did enjoy myself watching Rocketman. It was really good. Jojo Rabbit, the Taika Waititi movie, and that's an S tier movie. I remember just when I reviewed this on Stardust, man, I gave this the highest praise I could. This movie was fun. It was a fun movie. It was funny as hell. You seeing Taika Waititi play Hitler, it's just one of those moments where you're just like, why the fuck? But it's such a good movie. It really is. It's a very good movie. I had a lot of fun watching this movie, and it's a movie I would highly recommend. It's a fucking phenomenal movie. Jay and Silent Bob reboot. Um, I'm struggling between B and I want. As much as I hate, I gotta put it in B tier. I do like the movie. I own it for a reason. There are just some things in it that really feel like it's not as funny as like Clerks, Clerks 2, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, Dogma. While it's still a good movie, like it's still pretty good. It could have been way better. I wish they would have made it a little bit longer. They would have thrown more references to the View Askew universe, and it maybe more rewatches because before it would have been A tier, but the more I rewatch it, it's gone down. Maybe if I rewatch it again, it'll go up. Who knows? But Jay and Silent Bob reboot will be going in B tier. Black Christmas. Yeah, no, fuck this movie. I've already talked about how much I hate this movie. It's not a good fucking film. It's literally just man hating. That's all this movie is. It's just saying men suck 24 fucking 7, and it's annoying. The movie is not well crafted. It's not a good remake of a Christmas classic, Black Christmas, which was done by Bob Clark, who directed A Christmas Story. That was a good fucking slasher movie from the 80s. This movie takes that, spits on it, and says, fuck you, we're doing our own thing and making us, making people hate men. That's all this movie is. And it's a fucking shame that, Blumhouse was involved with this. I'm so glad Blumhouse has kind of disregarded this movie and put it way in the background. But this movie was a fucking disappointment through and through. Next is Annabelle Comes Home. It's an okay movie. It's As a guy who loves the Conjuring universe, I still prefer Annabelle Creation. Annabelle Comes Home is fine. It has decent scares, decent enough to pass. There's a lot of jump scares, but there are some scares that genuinely are worth, the build up. But most of it is just not as good as it could be. The story is kind of weak and bland. The only thing that really holds this movie up, in my opinion, is the fact that Patrick Wilson, the characters from The Conjuring return, and the characters aren't that bad in this movie. And I love the setting of the movie. It's really nice, but it's just an type horror movie. Charlie's Angels. Yep, yep, D tier. Fuck this movie. I fucking hate Charlie's Angels. Especially for the director Elizabeth Banks to blame the failure of this movie on men. Like, are you fucking kidding me? We're blaming you because it's a shitty movie. It's not a good movie. It's not a good remake of Charlie's Angels. It's just a bland, mediocre fucking experience, and it's a one that I regret going to the theater to watch to review it. I want my time back from this movie. I want my fucking time back. Hellboy, time for a very controversial opinion. I actually fucking liked Hellboy. Now, I don't think it's S or A tier. No, I think it's B. I think it's a good movie. It has aspects that I like in it. This one goes for more of the comic book feel to it, which is what I wanted from Hellboy. Is I wanted them to stick more towards the comic book source material, and they did in this movie. The movie is brutal as shit. I don't mind the humor in this movie. I will say I do think they should have had a better writer for this movie. If they would have had a better writer, I think the movie would have been a million times better. But overall, I don't think it's as bad as everyone's making it out to be. I do think it's a B tier movie. It's nowhere near the failure that is D or C, but it's a B tier for me. It's not bad at all. Bad Boys for Life. Yep, this was a good movie. I was expecting garbage from this movie, but Michael Bay not directing it probably helped it the most. It to me, this is my favorite out the trilogy. It's very funny. It's just a very funny movie. It's a great sequel, and when a lot of people were expecting this movie to fucking flop, I was just as shocked when I saw how fucking good it was. It's a great fucking movie. I love Bad Boys for Life. If you see me trying to get quickly through these, because I have a lot of movies, as you can see, I have a lot more to go through. So yeah, this is a long tier list. The Lighthouse, Robert Pattinson, William Dafoe. This is a S tier movie and my favorite movie of last year. This movie was fucking phenomenal. It was so gorgeous, so well acted, it's well crafted, well written. It's just mysterious, and it's just a gorgeous fucking movie. This movie surpassed everything from last year. It was just so damn good. The Good Boys. This is a B tier movie. I don't care for this movie as much as other people do. It's funny to a certain extent. I wouldn't say it's C or D tier, but it's in B tier. It's fine. I really just it has its funny moments, but it just didn't make me laugh as hard as like other comedies in this like last year or even this year. It's just okay. I preferred another comedy that's coming up on this list. You'll see here in a second, but it was just kind of it was a good experience. Not the best, but it was a good experience. I just wish they would have done cut out some of the cut out some of the cringe jokes in the movie. There was some cringe in it that I just didn't care for, but overall, I mean, it's a good movie, but it's not great or like fantastic. The Peanut Butter Falcon, yes, yes, Shia LaBeouf, yes, this movie was great. I fucking love The Peanut Butter Falcon. It's such a gorgeous and sweet film, and it really makes you smile ear from ear the entire runtime. It was so much fun to watch. Shia LaBeouf acting in this movie was was fucking great. And I'm trying. Okay, I'm still recording. Um, The Peanut Butter Falcon is a gorgeous fucking movie. It's fantastic, well written, well directed, and well crafted. And there's a reason why Alex gave it a high review. It's fucking great. Joker, Joaquin Phoenix, Todd Phillips, yes, S tier. Another great movie of last year, fantastic movie even from last year. Just a really different take on the Joker character, and it has that very much Martin Scorsese feel, which, they did borrow a lot of elements from Scorsese films, but I actually didn't mind it. It made me feel like this was a film, not just like a dumb action. This was a film. It made you think, and it did a good job in building that kind of character arc for Arthur Fleck, aka the Joker. It was a great film. Great job to Todd Phillips for making this movie. He did a phenomenal job, and he needs to win some fucking awards for this movie because he deserves it. The Long Shot with Seth Rogen and Charlize Theron, and this is the movie I'm talking about. To me, was better than Good Boys. To me, Long Shot was a better film in terms of comedy and writing than Good Boys. Good Boys was just trying to say, hey, we got kids cussing. The Long Shot to me has that good romantic comedy in it. You really feel that chemistry between Seth Rogen and Charlize Theron's characters. To me, it's a funny movie. There are like one or two cringe moments I wish they would take out, and the writing is not as good as it could be. But as a comedy movie from last year, it was really good, and I really did have fun watching it. Knives Out, another fantastic, again, just another fantastic movie from last year. There's a lot of good movies from last year. Knives Out was phenomenal. It was a fun ride from beginning to end. I enjoyed my theater experience. Everyone was respectful in the theater. That's what made the experience way better than what it should have been. But yes, I fucking love Knives Out. It was a great film, and I cannot wait to see what the director, I think his name is Ryan Johnson, does next. Even though he did fuck up with Last Jedi. Pet Cemetery. Yep. Nope. Fuck this movie. I went to theaters expecting a lot of you know, a, good things. As Jason Clarke, one of my favorite actors, I love Jason Clarke to death, and it's an adaptation of a Stephen King movie. At this time, we had It, and It was a phenomenal adaptation. So I'm like, oh man, cannot wait to see what they do with this adaptation. And no, this movie was fucking horrendous. Both the ending the alternate ending is actually not that bad, but the original ending is fucking dog shit. The scares aren't that good. The only thing that really makes this movie great is Jason Clarke. That's it. Everything else is just not good. It's just a fucking bland and fucking forgettable horror movie and a fucking shitty ass adaptation of a great Stephen King classic. Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. This was a big disappointment to me, especially with Guillermo del Toro there. I'm a big fan of the books. I love Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. I read the book when I was a kid. It scared me as a kid. And when I saw they were doing a film adaptation, I'm like, oh shit, this is a perfect time for them to do an anthology movie to build up on these creatures, do short stories from. Nope, we got a movie that it's basically the Goosebumps movie. It's fucking Goosebumps. If you've seen the Jack Black Goosebumps, you've seen Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. The only thing that saves it from being D tier is one, the fucking creature design. It is fucking superb. And of course, that's because it's Guillermo del Toro. But the creature design is fucking superb, and the characters aren't half bad. The story to me is garbage. The scares are alright, but as terms of me being as big of a fan of this, like in the book series as I am, I was expecting a lot more from the movie, and I did not get it. I was very disappointed. Happy Death Day to You, the sequel to the very surprisingly good Happy Death Day, and you know what? I actually really fucking enjoyed it. It's going in S tier. It's a great fucking sequel. It is. It surprised me with how good it was. Happy Death Day to You took everything that made the first movie so good and amped it up to a million. And to me, I enjoy watching this one more than Happy Death Day 1. Um, I understand if you disagree with that. Happy Death Day is not for everybody. I get that. But to me, Happy Death Day was a big surprise when it came out. And this one was an even bigger surprise with it being a sequel, and we all know how sequels usually go. So it was a big surprise to see how good it was. The Curse of Iona. Nope. Yep. Nope. Yep. Nope. Nope. This movie sucked. If you've seen this movie, you know what I mean. The Curse of Iona is a lazy excuse of a horror film. It uses cheap, lazy, loud noises as jump scares. It has a forgettable plot. And it takes this popular myth of the Curse of Iona, which could have been a great movie on its own. I read up on it, and it's a very interesting tale. But they did not do it well in the fucking movie. It just feels fucking lazy. Like they didn't give a shit about what they were fucking doing. And it pisses me off because this could have been a very interesting concept. They put the Conjuring title on it to make people go see it because The Conjuring is an actual good fucking movie. They take The Conjuring and they're like, oh, let's put The Conjuring on the poster so people will see that it's from the guys who did the Conjuring universe. No, the movie fucking sucked, and it's a fucking forgettable movie. It really fucking is. Child's Play 2019. Surprisingly, it's going at A tier. I know a lot of people fucking hate this movie. Hear me out. I like the new stuff they did. I think if you're going to do a reboot of a classic horror franchise, do something different with it. And I like what they did. They made him an animatronic. They made him like malfunction. It's to me, it's one of my favorite Child's Play films. I like it more than most people. Um, I do have flaws with it. I wish the doll looked a little bit better than what it did. But to me, Mark Hamill did an amazing job with the performance of Chucky. I love his performance of it. And I honestly did enjoy it. I'm putting an A tier because I really did enjoy it. Godzilla, the one that came out last year. Yeah, this was also a very big disappointment. I'm a big Godzilla guy. I love Godzilla. And the the movie that came out last year was just a huge disappointment. First off, we barely got to see Godzilla. The fuck? The whole point of a Godzilla movie is to show Godzilla. I mean, why hide the guy? Show him fighting Mothra. I wanted to see that on screen. Hopefully, with Godzilla versus King Kong, we see more Godzilla fighting, but who knows because Godzilla from 2014 and this Godzilla loves to fucking hide Godzilla 24/7. The only thing that saves this movie is when you do get to see Godzilla, it's fucking badass and it brings the movie up a lot. The characters are decent enough. The story is serviceable. It's just there. It's serviceable. It's not insulting, but it's just there. Like, honestly, this was a huge disappointment. It's nowhere on the D level quality of film. It's just C tier. It was just a fucking disappointment. It Chapter 2. Another A tier movie. I personally like it. I do think it was a little bit too long, but you gotta think they're trying to get that thick fucking book, that thick ass book, into two movies. It's gonna be hard. And while I do have a problem with the runtime, I honestly do enjoy the movie. I had a blast watching it in theaters. Um, it was a fun movie to watch. I had a ball. Didn't feel like I wasted my time or my money watching it in theaters. So, I had a blast watching it. It was a fun experience. It really was. And I did like it. I just wish the movie was a bit shorter. I do wish they would have done things better with the plot. But other than that, I did enjoy it, Chapter 2. It's a Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood with Tom Hanks. Yeah, that's an S tier. You know what? If you saw it, you know what I mean. It's a fucking beautiful movie. Tom Hanks is such a phenomenal fucking actor. I mean, Tom Hanks is a phenomenal actor. He really is. He played the role of Mr. Rogers very well. It's a very emotional movie, and it's a movie that I go back to rewatch all the time. It's a very beautiful fucking movie. Captain Marvel, very middle of the road MCU movie. This is to me the worst movie in Phase 3. It's a movie I tend to want to skip all the time, but it's one of my least favorites out the entirety of the MCU universe. It's right there. It's slightly above the Incredible Hulk. To me, it just wasn't as good as it could have been. I just do not care for the movie Captain Marvel. It's fine. It's nowhere near this level of bad, but it's C tier. It's very middle of the road. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Yes, you knew it was going in S tier. Fucking Quentin Tarantino. Dude, this guy is a fucking directing like genius. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, a lot of people would probably put in their A tier, but I personally think it's one of Tarantino's best films. It has a very intriguing story with fantastic acting, from both Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt together. They do a great job just luring you into this fucking movie. It's a great movie, has great moments, great scenes, and a fantastic fucking setting. They really make you feel like you're back in the old days. It's fucking phenomenal. Cold Pursuit with Liam Neeson. So I'm gonna put this in B tier just because I need to rewatch it again. I've watched it once. But Cold Pursuit was pretty good. Especially with Liam, like with this movie came out right when all that shit started coming out about about what he said and all that, which was very wrong of him. But he was in a very dark state of mind. But Liam Neeson in this movie, he did a phenomenal job. I do think the writing was piss poor at times. Most of like some of the actors in this movie just didn't give a fuck. The only one to me that really gave a shit was Liam Neeson. The action was fucking great. It's taken in the snow basically. If you enjoy that sort of thing, you'll love Cold Pursuit. I just wish they would have done something a little bit more than what they gave us in this movie. Ready or Not, S tier. This was one of the biggest shockers of last year. I was not expecting it to be as good as it was. If you have not yet watched Ready or Not, please watch it. It was such a fun, dark, twisted, and funny movie. It's basically hide and seek, but these people are trying to murder this woman. It's fucking it's awesome. The movie is fucking great, dude. I cannot highly recommend this movie enough. This movie was fucking great last year. Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. If Last Jedi was D tier, I want to put this in C tier because it was slightly above fucking Last Jedi, but it still wasn't as good as it could have been. You know what? The more I fucking think about it, the more it pisses me off. I want to put it in D tier. I did not fucking care for it. There are moments I liked, but at the same time, it just wasn't as good as it could have fucking been. There was nothing they could have done to save it after Last Jedi, and they just did a lot to piss fans off. This movie just pissed a lot of fans off like Last Jedi. While to me, it's only maybe 3% more bearable than fucking Last Jedi, I refuse to fucking watch it. Like, if there's any movie I would like to watch in the new trilogy, it's fucking The Force Awakens. Other than that, I'm not fucking watching it. So, Star Wars, the Star Wars, the new one, it's the Rise of Skywalker. It's goes right there in D tier. Rambo: Last Blood. This is a very B tier movie. Nothing like nothing at all special. It's a Rambo movie. I don't think it's as good as Rambo 4, but I do think it's better than Rambo 2 and 3. It's a third best in the Rambo franchise, but it could have been a little bit better in terms of the writing. The writing sucked, but the acting wasn't bad. The action was really fucking good and brutal and intense. I have yet to watch the extended edition that's been released, but I will eventually. Spider-Man: Far From Home, S tier. This is another one of my favorites from last year. It's a great movie. I'm a big Spider-Man fan, and to me, Spider-Man: Far From Home was one of probably my favorite. It is my favorite Spider-Man movie to ever come out. I just fucking love the movie. Toy Story 4, another S tier movie. Toy Story 4 was phenomenal last year. Great fun movie. I'm so glad they did it. It's just a very fun, entertaining fucking movie, and it has a lot of emotion to it. And hopefully, this is the last Toy Story. They need to make this the last one. Go out on a high note. Disney, go out on a fucking high note. Just don't fucking worry about it anymore. Just let this fantastic fucking film be the last one. Brightburn. I'm putting that in A tier. I love it more than most people. I understand that. I understand that people fucking absolutely don't care for Brightburn. And you know what? That's them. I'm not going to shit on them for not liking Brightburn. I personally think they pulled off the concept very well. It's a brutal as shit movie with a great story, great acting, and I love the ending where they're setting up this big universe with Brightburn, which I hope they get to soon because I would love to see this universe grow, and I would love to see crossovers with the other characters from the movies. I would love to see crossovers from different villains fighting each other and shit. It would be really cool. Us. The latest Jordan Peele movie that came out last year. I'm gonna put that in A tier as well. It would be an S tier, but the more I rewatch it, the more I see its flaws, including the third act, which was just not as good as it could have been. I prefer Get Out. no doubt. I prefer the movie Get Out more than Us. It's still a great movie. It's just not as good as it could have been, in my opinion. Shazam. Um, to me, the best DCEU movie. The best DC movie so far is either Joker or The Dark Knight, but in terms of like the DC Extended Universe, it goes to Shazam. Shazam knocked it out of the park and did what it needed to do, which was be a very lighthearted, entertaining, colorful movie. And to me, it did it very well. I cannot find barely any flaws in the movie. The movie is just fucking fun as shit, and it's a great DCEU movie. The Death of Dick Long, yeah, I did not like it. It's very disappointing in terms of an A24 movie. The twist ending is just really fucking bizarre and weird to be bizarre and weird. It's not. It doesn't have that good of acting in it. The movie still looks gorgeous. It's an A24 movie, but it isn't as good as it fucking could have been. It isn't as good as it could have been. I was expecting a lot more from this director. Playing with Fire, I do enjoy it, but I understand it is fucking garbage. It's so bad it's good in my opinion, but in terms of film, it's fucking horrendous. It's fucking horrendous. Crawl. Yes, I'm gonna put that in S tier for a reason. It's very underlooked. If you haven't seen Crawl, it is fucking phenomenal. It's intense as fuck, and it keeps you on the edge of your seat the entire time. It is a fun movie, and I really hope they do another movie just like this with Sam Raimi at the helm producing it, and bring back Alexander to direct it because he did a great job with this movie. Last but not least, Zombieland Double Tap. This is going to be an A tier movie. Um, it was a great sequel. It just did a lot of the same thing as the first movie. So there's nothing new and original here. It's just the same thing as the first movie. So it's just playing it really safe. So this is my tier list for 2019 films. S tier, we got Doctor Sleep, John Wick 3, Midsommar, Ford v Ferrari, Endgame, Uncut Gems, Jojo Rabbit, The Lighthouse, Peanut Butter Falcon, Joker, Knives Out, Happy Death Day to You. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Ready or Not, Spider-Man Far From Home, Toy Story 4, Shazam and Crawl. A tier, we got Three from Hell, the Lego Movie 2, Hobbs and Shaw, Detective Pikachu, Rocketman, Bad Boys for Life, The Long Shot, Child's Play, It Chapter 2, Brightburn, Zombieland. B tier, we got Jane Silent Bob Reboot, Hellboy, Good Boys, Cold Pursuit, Rambo. C tier, we got Annabelle Comes Home, Scary Stories Telling in the Dark, Godzilla, and Captain Marvel. And D tier, we got Stuber, Black Christmas, Charlie's Angels, Pet Sematary, Curse of Iona, Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker, Death of Dick Long, and Playing with Fire. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I know a lot of people are going to disagree with this list, but this is how I personally felt about last year's movies. So I hope you guys have an awesome day, and I'll talk to you guys next time.